Hello, I'm Kristen from Kristen Cain Style. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I'm a style and mindset coach and I help women build wardrobes that they love wearing. Today, I want to talk about something that has actually come up quite a bit lately in the work that I do one-on-one with clients, and also in comments here and comments on Instagram and in my email. And that is the idea that you have done the work. Actually, one of my clients referred to it as the morning after, like what do you do the morning after? And so what she means by that and what these other questions kind of hit on is you've done the work, whether you've worked with me, whether you've done the work on your own, you have done the work to edit and to streamline and to define your style and to, buy only things that support this new look that you want to present to the world. And you've organized your closet and you've arranged it by color and sleeve length and all the things that you can do to, kind of set yourself up for success with regards to your wardrobe. And yet you aren't still not wearing your clothes. You still feel like you open your closet and you have this closet full of clothing, but you're not actually utilizing it. You felt like you edited enough and you are not buying random pieces. You're buying, things that are cohesive and that work together, and yet you're not wearing your clothes. And kind of what gives? The resounding message is, what's wrong with me? What's happening that I am not wearing this clothing? I did the work and now what? And so I want to address that a little bit because I think it's kind of a go back in with a fine-tooth comb kind of thing where you need to, look a little closer or zoom out a little, kind of depending on how you want to look at it. But you need a little more information about what's happening, kind of ask yourself some questions in order to get clarity around what's happening so that you can decide what your next steps are. And so, first of all, I want to say that it is completely normal that there are layers to creating an amazing wardrobe. Effortless, incredible personal style does not happen overnight. It is not an instantaneous shift because our brains like to keep us safe. Our brain doesn't like it when we try something new. So it does take a bit of effort. There are some fits and starts sometimes when we're trying to build a new persona and wear the clothing that supports that new identity because it's not safe for our brain. It likes routine and it likes things, it likes the rut that we've been in with regards to our style. And so it is normal that it is not an overnight quick fix. I like to look at it sort of as a spiral staircase that like in an old castle, where every time you come around, on the staircase to the same level, you are higher up. So you are learning something and gaining momentum and gaining clarity and wisdom and getting better at it as you come up, even though you might feel like you're circling past the same problem again. You're a little higher up on the scale each time, and you've grown since the last time you came around that same problem. And sometimes this is quick, this happens quickly. I work with a client, we do all the work, and a month later we chat and she's still not wearing the clothes. And I see it often, and I have some ideas around why it happens and how to get past it. So I'm going to talk about that today. So nobody declutters their home in one day. No, it's not normal for us to just on a dime decide we're going to change something and have it change immediately. So give yourself some grace. Understand that every step towards having better style that is more authentic and makes you feel more fabulous and look more put together, every step counts. And so don't discredit the work you've already done, even if it feels like, man, I'm still not wearing what's in my closet. I feel like a failure. You are not. So I think that the question to ask yourself is, why do you still have too many clothes? And I like to journal, and I encourage my clients to journal because I feel like it taps into sort of a higher energy that gives us answers that we can't think as easily. It kind of comes from somewhere outside of us, pours through us. Ask yourself, why do you have so much clothing? Why do you have too much clothing to wear? Is it because you love clothes? Like you really are just a collector. You love pieces. You love beautiful pieces hanging in your wardrobe? Is it because shopping soothes something for you, that there's a retail therapy aspect, so you just keep bringing more pieces in, even though they don't really deserve a place in your wardrobe? Is it that you have pieces that maybe support an old self, a past version of you that you thought on the first round of edit or the 10th round of edit that those pieces should still have a place in your closet and you're realizing maybe they don't deserve that place? Is it that there's a bit of a lack mentality and that you don't want to let anything go that could be useful or that you paid good money for? Try to get clear on why do you have too many clothes? Why the clothing isn't appearing there on its own. So why do you have more than you're using? Try to get a little bit clear on that. And then with that fine-tooth comb idea, that idea of going back through and hitting it one more time and seeing what the issues are, I would pay attention to, does everything in your closet fit? Like I would get really clear on everything in my wardrobe that I kept. Does it fit my today body? Can I put it on right now? Is it a choice for me today to wear comfortably? And if it's not, it doesn't deserve a place in your wardrobe. That doesn't mean you can't box it up and save it for a different time if that's what you choose. But if it doesn't fit you right this minute, it doesn't deserve a place in your wardrobe. The next thing is lifestyle. Is the clothing that is in your wardrobe going largely unworn? Is that clothing supporting the life you live? Is it something you can actually wear to do the activities that you do right now on a daily basis? Because if you have all sorts of, beach caftans and you go to the beach every 6 years, then you of course are going to have clothing that you're not wearing because it doesn't work for the life that you live. So ask yourself, with regards to my lifestyle, the clothing that's in there that I'm not wearing, what's the disconnect? Can I actually wear it for the life I live? And the next one is quantity. Is it just a matter of there's too much? That volume is usually one of the things I see, that we just have we're so privileged and we have too much clothing. And so it's a simple math equation, which is kind of funny for me because math is not my thing. So even a simple math equation sometimes can be complex. But with regards to this, it's a simple math equation. You need to look at what you do, kind of where you go and how often you do it. And, how often you get dressed for a certain thing, and then do the math. If you have 26 date tops and you go on a date once a month, clearly you are never going to get to all of those date tops before you decide you don't even like them anymore, or before they don't fit, or before they fall apart or are out of style, whatever the case is. And so if you have, 16 pairs of jeans and you only wear jeans every other Friday, you definitely don't need 16 pairs of jeans. But we get locked into this idea that, well, we already own them, and there's sort of this sunk cost factor, and there's some guilt and that all the stuff, which results in this closet that you thought you edited and you still have too much that you can't possibly wear. The next thing is self-identity. Like, do the clothes hanging in your closet right now, like they might support your lifestyle, they might fit your body. Do they actually align with who you are? Your identity, the person you want to present to the world, the clothing that's hanging in the closet, does it work for the version of you that you want to be? Is it from a past self, and maybe you thought you could use those clothes as you become this new version of you, but they actually aren't authentic? Who is the version of you who's getting dressed, and is that clothing authentic for that identity? Does that clothing actually work? Or do you have a whole bunch of blazers, but the version you are right now, you live in a spot where a blazer just doesn't work, whether it's because of climate or because of what you actually do during the day? You're always going to feel like you have too many blazers if they aren't part of who you are and who you're becoming with regards to your style. The other thing about self-identity is, and I touched on this a little bit with the caftans, there's this idea of, yes, it's lifestyle, and it's also, your fantasy self. Like, do you want to be someone who wears lots of brightly colored beads and yet they hurt your neck because they're too heavy? Yes, I've had that situation where my neck just doesn't like something pulling on it. So I could keep buying all these fabulous beads and necklaces, but if they aren't ever actually going to go on my body, because that's sort of this fantasy self that I've decided, when I'm going to wear these mala beads, but they're actually too heavy on my neck, you're not actually creating the wardrobe that is going to work for you. So of course you're going to have excess that you don't wear, and then that's where kind of the guilt and the shame of, well, I edited and I did all the things, but I still have stuff I'm not wearing. And then ask yourself, what would need to happen for me to wear these clothes? And this I always find kind of fascinating. Even in my own wardrobe, still sometimes this happens to me, where when I ask myself kind of what would need to happen what would be the perfect circumstance, the perfect situation for me to actually put this on my body. And in most cases, for most of my clients, and often for myself, we kind of come up blank because we think, well, I could wear this to a wedding, or I could wear this on a date, or I could wear this to run errands, and I'm probably not ever going to. And you need to get really honest about that. Is there a situation that is going to make you want to take that piece, put it on your body, and wear it out of the house? And if not, then why is it in your closet? And if you have a couple pieces that you save because maybe one day you're going to wear them, that is one thing. But I mean a couple pieces. If you have an entire wall of your closet that is devoted to those pieces that you are probably never going to choose, because in the event that you're invited to a wedding, you're not going to pick from those 9 dresses. You're going to go buy a new dress. So those 9 dresses just hang there waiting without really ever having a chance to get out of the closet, because you know in your mind, I'm never going to pick them. So use that kind of microscopic, like get really in there and really honest with yourself and ask, is there ever a reason I would put this garment on over the other things in my wardrobe or over something new that I would buy for an occasion? And if not, they don't belong in your wardrobe. It would be better to donate them or to sell them or to give them away so that somebody else can be using them. As a thrifter, I promise you someone will think they are just pure gold and want them in their wardrobe. So if you're not utilizing them and they're stressing you out, that's the other thing. It is possible to have way too many clothes and not have it stress you out. It is entirely a thought that we think about what we see when we open our closet. I want simplicity. So when I start to feel like there's too much, it stresses me out. But if you have clothing that you're not wearing and that doesn't bother you, that's not a problem in and of itself. It's only a problem if you've done the editing and you're really careful about what you bring in and you have a defined style and you still feel like you have too much. That's when you want to look at it a little more closely and decide, do I want sort of this museum of pieces that are beautiful but I'm likely never going to wear? Or do I want a wardrobe truly filled with pieces I wear all the time and I love and they light me up and I adore them and I feel amazing in them, and it creates this effortless style that I've been hoping for, and I want to let go of those other pieces that are just largely hanging there unworn? And it's totally personal preference. There is no wrong answer. It is fine if you want to have a closet full of pieces that you don't actually want to put on. It's just a matter of what works for you. I want more simplicity. Most of my clients want more simplicity. We don't want the guilt and the mental clutter and the physical clutter that comes from having all of those pieces hanging in our closet that we are really not ever going to wear again. So if you've done a closet edit, and whether you've worked with me or whether you're doing it on your own, if you've done the editing and now you're feeling like, man, like I did that and I still have too much, do it again. Just go back in there and ask yourself those questions about lifestyle and fit and get really clear on, do these pieces that are just extra, do they deserve a place in my wardrobe? Am I ever actually going to wear them? And you can experiment. You can do kind of a 2 days a week, I'm going to pick from those unworn pieces and I'm going to force myself to put those on and see how I feel. Because usually I find by the end of the day, you know if those pieces are staying or going. Like if you put them on and wear them, you force yourself, kind of commit to, I'm going to pick from that pile. You know by the end of the day if they're new favorites or if, you know what, they're pretty to look at, but I don't love these pieces. And the same is true if you challenge yourself to literally wear everything in your wardrobe. So all of those things that are hanging there unworn that you kept on the first round of edits for whatever reason, put them on your body and force yourself to wear them and see how you feel. Take notes, take pictures, and get rid of anything that at the end of the day you think, I can let this go. I don't actually need this. But when it just hangs there, that's when it creates possibly creates the mental stress and the physical clutter. If we get it on our body, it's usually pretty, and not get it on our body to try it on, but get it on our body to actually wear out of the house and see how it feels, how the energy feels to actually be in that garment. Usually it's a pretty quick tell of, yes, I actually love this and I'm going to wear it more often, or no, I actually don't. Because often when you just try it on in an editing session and look in the mirror, you can say, it looks nice, it's in good condition, it's a color I like, it fits me well, I think I'm gonna wear this. And then it goes back in the closet and you default to the other pieces for whatever reason, and you don't actually wear, that collection that you've saved because it seems like it would work, but you're not giving it a chance to. So if you're not wearing all the clothing that's left in your wardrobe, I suggest that you either pick a couple days a week and force yourself to pick from those pieces, or literally start at one end of your closet and force yourself, commit to wearing everything in your wardrobe and getting clarity on each piece as you wear it, and deciding what else could go. And possibly just accepting that you love to look at the pretty pieces, but you don't really care if you ever wear them. And it's kind of, maybe one end of your closet is just beautiful dresses that you might not ever put on your body again. And you're okay with that. There's really no wrong answer. It's just a matter of what feels the most peaceful and relaxing and authentic for you. I hope that's helpful. I would love to know if you've done an edit and then felt kind of like, I did this, but now I still have all this clothing I'm not wearing. What gives? I would love to kind of hear your thoughts and your feedback. I always love reading your comments. I read every single one. I answer every single one. It sometimes just takes me a little while. So please bear with me. I appreciate the patience. And if you would like to ask me any questions, I do an Instagram live Q&A every Tuesday at noon Mountain Time. I put a question box up on Monday. I am at Kristen Cain Style over there. And you can drop in your question and then I will answer it. And they're all recorded. All the replays are available so you can go back and watch old ones. There have been lots of really good questions. So thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful week and I'll be back next Friday.